Okay, I just got finished watching the April 13th version of NXT. Unfortunately, I missed the April 20th. I missed the April 20th version, and I have to wait, I guess, until the April 20th version comes in. And I was going to actually make it a review, but from what I've seen in WrestleMania 32, as well as seeing from the past NXTs, and also a lot of the NXT superstars moving to the main roster, this is going to pretty much be a random thought video that I would like to call Just Saying. Now, when it comes to NXT, I actually do admire this brand. I admire this brand more than Raw and more than SmackDown because they are actually doing a job in promoting their main stars. They're actually forming them, shaping them. They're getting to know their characters. They're working well with them. They're developing a crowd. It is amazing how NXT is getting sold out within hours while WrestleMania took a few months. But other than that, I mean, I have so many people I love on this show. By far, when it comes to tag teams, the Vaudevillains will always be my favorite tag team. And for those that know me, you know I love me some heels. So honestly, of course, I'm going to go for the heel tag team. But the Vaudevillains got a unique twist. I mean, they look like 19th century strongmen with the whole manly gimmick. And it's fun. I love that. But, I mean, wrestling now is way too serious. But when you actually do see performers like that on NXT that can make it fun but have a serious tone to it and want to win, they're worth watching. I know they didn't get like so much great hype when they were in London. I know that when they actually made their debut in London for Raw, it didn't look well. I understand that. But that's how it's going to be. If they stay true to who they are and don't change themselves, then people will grow to love them and see who they really are. I guess that's what the WWE is expecting from Roman Reigns. Fat chance of that. But anyway, when it comes to NXT and the women's division, oh my gosh. Besides what they have done to the belt on the main roster, the one thing I truly appreciate about the women's division in NXT is that they actually are putting some no-names up there, or people who they consider to be no-name. I don't know much about Deonna Purrazzo, but I do believe that there's a lot of promise in her. I have seen her in a match with Emma, and oh my gosh, I'm becoming a fan. Seriously. This chick held her own against Emma. We've seen some legendary feuds when it came up between Emma and Paige, and we know that Emma can throw down. Even though she became a running joke when she went to the main roster, but I digress. Now that she's actually embracing this heel gimmick, she looks amazing. And the fact that Deonna Purrazzo, somebody who's completely new to NXT, I'm not saying new in general now, I'm saying new to NXT, she held her own. And she's won a few matches, but she didn't win a lot. But the one thing I can say that actually does make the match make you look good, it's how you perform in it. How you're able to literally counteract what your opponent's going to do. How you're able to have chemistry with that person in the ring. And if that person messes up, you can make yourself look good as well as that other person look good. She hasn't reached that point yet. But I do believe there's a huge amount of promise in her. And I am looking forward to see more matches with her in it. I did see the match with Nia Jax. It was a squash match in my opinion. But in my opinion, she still has heart. And I said that twice. But other than that, I'm saying that she has heart. She has a lot of heart. I know she's going to talk about her loss in NXT next week. If she didn't really talk about it on the 20th, I don't know. I didn't see it. But other than that, this woman has promise. I really do tip my imaginary hat off to William Regal because he's been one of the best GMs I have seen in a very long time that actually does promote new stars. He sees new stars. He literally seizes them and he wants them to grow. And you can tell that with every single performer that is there. We do have a lot of huge indie artists as well as a lot of people coming from other brands on NXT now. The biggest one, in my opinion, is Samoa Joe. And from what I have heard from many breaking news, not only from What Culture and also from OK Fave, also from many others that I am trying to spout out. And I think Mr. Griffin actually did do a video on that. I could be wrong. But other than that, finding out that Samoa Joe is the NXT champion does raise a huge amount of eyebrows. It does. Not in a bad way. It's just where are they going to go with him next? Samoa Joe is a freaking juggernaut. The guy can't be stopped. He can't be beaten down. We know this. He is a monster. And seeing him with the belt is going to make that belt even more worthy to have someone take it off of him. I'm just saying, it's going to be an amazing heel run for Samoa Joe, and I am looking forward to it. I really am. It's a shame that it was done on a house show, and I didn't really have a chance to see it, because that would have been the match that I really would want to see, I don't know, on television. But since I didn't see it, it's still good. It's fine. Because when it comes to house shows, you don't want all the house shows to be the same. You want house shows to be special. Not just because it's not televised does not mean that you don't have to give something generous back to the fans. And that's what house shows are. They're like they're the moments where the fans can embrace their favorite wrestlers and embrace what they're seeing. And you want to give them a gift. You want to give them like a present, just like for your birthday. That's the biggest birthday present for any Samoa Joe fan on the planet. Being on a house show, not live, and seeing this guy win the title. There you go. Honestly, man, that's amazing. By far, it really is amazing. And I know a lot of people are giving Eva Marie flack, because I'm going to be honest with you. Eva Marie, when it comes to top heels, she kind of is, because she has that nuclear heat going. But I have seen a lot of promise in her, and I am looking forward to her actually moving up and maybe one day being the women's NXT champion. I kind of want that, because you want to have a wrestler with the most nuclear heat to make that belt just seem like it's gold. So she would make that belt so great if she became champion. But honestly, NXT is probably one of the best promotions that WWE has done in so long. It feels like it's a lot more than developmental, and I enjoy it. I really do. The matches that I saw on the 13th was great. The final match that I saw with Enzo and Cass made Enzo and Cass look decent before they took their walk out. And then I'm going to bring up two individuals. One individual with a major amount of promise that I believe is probably the black version of Kurt Angle, and I think you guys know what I'm talking about. And then another guy who's either the black Latino version of Fandango. I'm not sure if he's black or not, but even if he's not, it doesn't matter. I just know that he's the Latin version of Fandango. And then you got another guy that's the German version of Vladimir Kozlov. I think his last name is James, Alexander James. I could be wrong. And then you got the debut of No Way Jose. In my opinion, y'all, it's No Way Jose. Like, it's no way, period. No Way Jose, he makes every match a joke. Don't get it twisted. I love me some comedy. There's nothing wrong with having comedy or comedic timing in the ring during a promo. There's nothing wrong with having a comedic timing during a promo to make it fun. But when it comes to being in the ring, that's your yard that you gotta fight. That's your gladiator arena. You gotta take some of these matches seriously. The fact that you were literally salsa dancing throughout the whole freaking match. What? Like, seriously. And I think even Alexander James knew this was a joke. And he was a beginning signee. This is your first match. And you're with No Way Jose and he beats you? That doesn't make him look good. And it makes No Way Jose look like a joke. What in their right mind thinks that... Who thought this would work? Honestly. And I know No Way Jose is going to probably get some kind of a dumb following. And I'm not going to say dumb following. People who like him, fine. But the thing is, he's going to probably get the same following that Fandango got because of his music. We all know that Fandango's music is what got him over. And the dancing girls, especially Summer Rae, is who got him over. It wasn't Fandango himself. It was the things around him. It was his environment that got him over. But when he started to move on, he wanted to become a serious wrestler, and you can tell he got better as time moved on. But unfortunately, his gimmick consumed him, and nobody cared anymore. No Way Jose's the same thing. He is. He's the salsa version of Fandango. Fandango had ballroom. No Way Jose has salsa. Or, I guess it's salsa. I don't know. If you know what kind of dance it is, leave it in the comments. But it's a joke, man. There's only so far that this gimmick can go. And this is the guy's first debut. So what are they going to do if it doesn't work? Seriously. There's only so far it can go. And I will admit, the music is extremely catchy. It is. And I think that's what they're counting on, but it's been done before. You can't go back to the past, people. You can't. You got to move on to the future and do something new. And I know a lot of people are like, well, what about the Vaudevillains? They got that whole timey-wimey thing going on. the thing is that, yes, the vaudevillains have a 19th century strongman vaudeville style going. And I am not going to deny that. And that's what I admire about them. That's what makes them different. They have the whole manly thing going on. And I love that. I really do. That separates them from the rest. That separates them from Enzo Amore and Cass. That separates them from American Alpha. That separates them from everyone else. But it works for them. No Way Jose is literally recycling a gimmick that has already been done years ago. That was a long time ago when that came out, man. And I hate to say it was a long time ago, but it kind of was. What, 3-4 years ago? Maybe more? But other than that, it's not good. You can't do that the whole time. Now, I can pretty much spout out everything about No Way Jose, but I'm not going to waste my breath. Here's an individual that I am going to talk about that has an extremely huge amount of promise, that just faced Samoa Joe. Well, not just faced. He faced him in April 13th version of episode of NXT versus Samoa Joe. I'm talking about Apollo Crews. Apollo Crews is a Georgia boy. He's a Georgia boy, so I got to give him mad props. Not because I have to give all Georgia boys mad props. It's just I choose to give him mad props. Because honestly, the guy has heart. He has heart. He has strength. He has the ability to literally perform well in the ring. The only problem that I have with Apollo Crews at this point is not because of his babyface gimmick. It's because, number one, he's the black Kurt Angle. Say what you want. He's the black version of Kurt Angle. And that's been done before. And number two, they don't have any substance for the guy. No depth for the guy. He's not even in a storyline that matters. The only thing they had for him was him doing a backstage segment with the Social Outcasts to be a part of their group because of Adam Rose's suspension, which is ridiculous. Really? You're going to get a cookie cutter, cheesy guy with a whole bunch of outcasts? What are you trying to say, man? It was bad enough that his whole debut was random and random at best. And it was for one of the biggest Raws, pretty much in my opinion, in history. Well, not really in history. But it was one of the biggest Raws. Every Raw after WrestleMania actually does have some matter to it. And the fact that you have Apollo Crews randomly making a debut, randomly in a squash match with somebody that is far, far, far less physically superior to him, is not showcasing his talents. Now, I know that they actually do squash matches for people who make debuts just to show the talents of the guys they're pushing. But how is it showing the talents of the guy they're pushing if they're literally going up against people that weigh $1.25? Seriously. Or less than $1.25. 50 cents! Like, these are 50-pound weaklings going up against a juggernaut giant. That's just stupid. And I know that the WWE is a huge fan of David vs. Goliath matches. But it's just ridiculous, man. If they think that this guy has potential, if the commentary is talking about, oh, this guy has so much promise, then give him a match that showcases it. Have a guy that at least is up there when it comes to him physically and up there when it comes to how he performs. Let him have a legit match. Showcase what he can do. You did the exact same thing with Sami Zayn when Sami Zayn went up against John Cena for the U.S. title in the U.S. Title Open. You had the same exact thing with Neville when he went up against John Cena. How come we can't have that for Apollo Crews? Just saying. Why does it have to be a random push just for the main roster for no reason at all? I want to see Apollo Crews be the best performer he can be, as well as seeing what he can do. Because I know the guy is strong. He has a lot of talent. But Baron Corbin has had a better push than he has. Just saying. I don't like squash matches when it comes to debuts, because you want the people that you're trying to push to look good and make them showcase what they have. Baron Corbin's had that chance, kinda, and then you've had Neville's had that chance, as well as Sami Zayn's had that chance, and Kevin Owens has definitely had that chance. So give that to Crews. I'm just saying. But y'all, that's it for me. And I am done here. If you guys have any comments about NXT in general, because this is pretty much a random thoughts video, but if you have any comments about Apollo Crews, NXT, the women's division, leave in the comments. Peace out.